Okay, today wasn't so bad. Um, I got up on the hill and I glassed around for 8 hours. It was a long day. I ate all the food that I had and I drank all the water. And it took me about 2.5 hours to get up and out, where I could basically hunt legally. Like I can see, okay, here, this is all the area in which I can hunt outside of the James Dalton Highway Corridor Management Area, okay? So I spent 8 hours there. It was a long day. It was beautiful, and I got to watch the sunset in the Arctic again with the mountains as the backdrop, and it was not terribly windy. It was windy enough that I wish that I had brought warmer gloves, but I mean, that's it. I mean, that's pretty good considering where this trip has been in the past, and different times that I've come up here, the struggles that I've had and everything else. Like, hands a little cold here and there when it's windy. That's not much. So the sun was supposed to set at about 8:30, so I wanted to give myself enough time to be able to get back. And I was like, well, it took me 2.5 hours to get out, and that was before I was tired and I hadn't spent 8 hours hunting. So I should probably give myself the same amount of time to get back, even though it's mostly downhill. Well, it took me an hour to get back, which was perfect because I had other things that I wanted to get done. I was down to basically one meal's worth of water. Like, I was like, I could probably make dinner, and that's about it. So I knew that I needed to filter some water and have some water going to replenish what I had used, because I came out here with about 2 gallons in vacuum sealed thermoses so that it wouldn't freeze. It's a trick that I learned a long time ago. My first trip out here, the water was so, like, it was so cold that even storing the water in my vehicle and running the heat on it every day when I was eating breakfast or something like that, or having dinner, it was still enough that it was freezing. And I was like, dang, what am I gonna do when it's, and that was when it wasn't too cold that year. Luckily, it didn't get too cold until the last day. And then I was like, dang, this is really cold. And it snowed and everything else. Anyway, go back and watch those videos. They're terrible as far as the video quality, but the story is still the best story of my mind because it was really cool. It was my first time up here. Now, after I got down the hill in record time, 1 hour, I was like, heck yes, that was awesome. I was like, I need to find some source of water. Now, I had heard some water earlier that day when I was hiking out, and then later on I had seen it, like looking down into a small ravine. I was like, bingo, water. And I can just come drop off my bag, my rifle, because I can't shoot with the rifle at that point anyway. So, I mean, I have my bear spray, but that's for emergencies. If I'm not hunting at that point, I'm trying to survive. So, which, if you, just for everyone that wants to know the rules and follow the rules, if you have to kill something out of a need for survival or your ability to survive, so as an example, you have a polar bear that's eating your plane, you can shoot the polar bear because you need the plane to survive and get out of there. But then you have to harvest the polar bear, and you have to bring the polar bear to Fish and Game, and you have to go, here, man, I had to shoot this thing because it was killing everything, and they're probably going to charge you a fine and take everything from you. And they might even take your rifle too, just to be like, don't do that. Or they might be like, dang, man, that sucks. Polar bears are vicious, and sometimes they kill people, so good call. But Fish and Game is going to Fish and Game, and the rule is that you're supposed to harvest everything it is that you had to do to survive. So if a bear were to charge me right now and I had to shoot it, what I'm supposed to do, and this is what I would do, would be to skin it, harvest the meat and the skin, the skull, the whole works, and take it all to Fish and Game and go, guys, this thing tried to kill me, but I was inside the corridor and I didn't have a bow, so I had to use my pistol. And they go, dang, take it all from me and maybe charge me a fine and whatever else they're gonna do. That's beside the point. So I got down to get some water, and I was noticing that this stream was really weird. I'd never seen a stream like this. Most of the time a stream, like if it's a spring-fed stream of some kind, you'll see it come out someplace and it'll get fed, or if it's some kind of drainage, it'll have lots of little things that are feeding it and whatever else. Well, this little guy would come out of the water or out of the rocks, and I'd be like, okay, cool, so it's spring-fed and this is where it starts. And then I would follow it along for a ways, and then it would go back down into the rocks. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but I guess this is where it is. And then I'd walk along a little bit further, heading towards the truck, and then it would come back out of the rocks again. And I'm like, this is so weird, man. It's just right on that line where it's coming in and out of the rocks and flowing along. So when I got back to the truck, I ditched my extra stuff, grabbed all the things that I could store water, my Grail, a Gatorade bottle, my normal drinking bottle, and my 2 vacuum sealed thermoses, and I filtered water for about 40 minutes to complete. And then I was drinking water too, like I was putting water in myself, like, okay, I can fit a little bit more. And I was like having to pee and everything else. It was super funny. I was like, okay, this is a max capacity for water. This is great. And then when I got back, I was like, well, dang, I've still got time. And there was a big camp next to me that had an Arctic oven similar to mine. And I don't know if they purposely left a bunch of firewood and a tarp, or if it was an accident, or if they didn't have space for it, or if they're coming back for it. But in order to keep it safe, I decided to put some in my truck. And then I was like, well, now that I've got it back in my camp, and they're long gone, like their camp is completely deserted. Tent's gone, everything's gone, vehicles are gone. And I watched a bunch of vehicles leave today. And the other big camp is also gone. So I'm like, okay, so I got the wood, put it in my truck, some of it. And I was like, I'll keep it in here and keep it safe. It's going to get snowed on and animals could get into it and, whatever else. And I don't want it to get wet or whatever. What if they come back? And then I was like, well, now that I've got some, you know what? I better do an operational check and make sure that this wood is nice and dry and will actually burn for them if they come back. Good news, guys, it does. So that's awesome for them and awesome for me. And I wanted to talk just real quick. This is supposed to be like the story videos, but I felt like this was important, okay? So first of all, when you're trying to start a fire and everything looks dead, okay, you can't just go off of that looks like a dead branch. So what I did is I was like, let me test 2 different kinds of kindling and fire starters and let me see what burns best. So I grabbed some grass and I grabbed some leaves from around here, and the leaves burnt a little bit better than the grass did. I think the grass still has some life in it, even though it looks dead. But more importantly, it feels so nice. Like I'm gonna tell you, it's so cold out here, and trying to make a video and like not freeze my hand at the same time is not the greatest challenge, but also the fire is really nice. So the other thing that you can do when you're looking at wood and everything and being like, I don't know, is that alive? Is it dead? If you come up to it and you can just kind of test it, like, okay, this just is very green and it bends a lot. It doesn't necessarily break. I can show you. See, it's bending, but it's not breaking. This is still alive. So it's going to be terrible to try and burn. But if I get something else, like this guy here, and it breaks, it snaps easily, this is drier. This will burn. So I can tell the difference between if something is alive and something's dead by just reaching over, and if it breaks real easy, throw that in the fire because that's going to burn. It's nice and dead and dry. And if you go to break something off and it just bends, we'll just leave it because that whole tree is still alive, or at least that branch is alive. And I've found a couple of really nice fire starting branches and things like that around camp, which I honestly didn't think I was going to be able to. There's a bunch of little guys that are leaving tracks all around my camp. What are these silly little guys doing? Some kind of Arctic mouse or something? Anyway, those little guys. I'm sure they're cute as buttons wherever they are. But yeah, so I did that to get a fire going, and I am happy for it. I really don't think that those people are coming back. Like I hope everyone gets the sarcasm there. I am definitely, if anything, a scavenger. So I will find things and scavenge them. The firewood is very nice. I did not take the time to get my own firewood. So, and I honestly wasn't planning on having a fire because I thought that I was going to be really far from any, like I thought I was going to be going upriver, and I thought I was going to be away from anything like this, like a big fire pit. Oh, thought I heard something and I did. I think I'm hearing the fire pit warm up. Or this near the fire warming up. Anyway, sorry. When you're out here alone, like any small sound or anything else, you're like, what is that? And like, not only that, but like even the smallest sounds you can hear from so far away. I think there's only 2 other people out here with me now. I saw them hiking out. I don't know if they saw me because I was in my like, cool camo and all this sort of stuff, I have the matching jacket, just in case anybody wants to know. I've got the full set. And actually it worked really nice. But anyway, so I think there's only 2 people out here today with me, and I saw them hiking out to get out of the corridor, the management area. And I think everybody else is gone. So I'm like, hey, today wasn't bad. There are fewer hunters here now. I think it's just me and those 2 guys. I didn't see anybody else. I didn't see any more vehicles, no more camps. I've got a fire. I got 8 hours of solid hunting in today. I got some cute video. It's gonna be a cute bonus video with some ptarmigan and stuff. Stay tuned. And very fun. I can hear some of the ptarmigan like making some noise right now. It kind of sounds like a frog, but I promise you it's not a frog. And I have video evidence to prove it. So I'm like, hey, I got a cute bonus video in. I got, this is my second video for the day. I actually had some things happen that were positive. My gear kept me, I got really sweaty on the hike out, and I was like, dang, I hope I dry off. And the gear that I have picked and over time tailored and everything else, like I need this one and that one, but not this other one, and I need this jacket and everything else, it worked. I was able to get all sweaty on the hike out, stop, take everything off real quick, dry off, almost everything off. Like, I was pretty much down to like my Arctic underwear, if you want to put it that way. Dry off, put everything back on and be like, okay, it's a little sticky here and there, but no big deal. And then later I was like, I'm completely dry. This is great. I can stay out here all day and not suffer. So I was like, this was money, man. I was really enjoying it. So, because I'm back early and I had time to build a fire and everything, I'm going to make some dinner, enjoy my dinner around a fire, which is incredible. I've never had a fire like this in the Arctic. And then I'm going to get some good sleep, and I'm going to go after it again tomorrow. Waking up at about 5:30 and getting out of bed about 5:45 worked pretty well this morning because I was hiking basically right at sunrise, and I was like, that's probably good. I don't probably don't want to be out too much later than or too much earlier than sunrise. So I felt the luck. Things have turned around, and my video's over 15 minutes, and I've been trying to keep these less than 15 minutes. So wish me luck that I have a good night, which will be pretty easy, and that I get a good jump on hunting tomorrow.